first of all, quercetin overall is poorly absorbed by the human body, like turmeric, right?
Okay.
So what this company did that we purchased from, the company's called Invena. And so what this company's done is they've taken a really concentrated form of the quercetin, and with Emerald Labs, we're using a phytosome ingredient, and it's called Quercefit. So with Emerald Labs, a lot of times we are using the patented, registered, trademark ingredient because they've got clinical studies behind it. So Quercefit is one of those ingredients that we purchase to include in as one of our supplements to offer to the consumers. So
They just think
for
kind of liver support, glutathione, immune system. So that's going to help a lot of people as another option. So, and then I pulled up here, look at all the different therapeutic uses for NAC, similar to quercetin, from
it's
infertility
huge.
to substance abuse disorders.
There
That's
it
what you
is
were
right
talking
there.
about with the
Mm-hmm.
addictions and much more liver
The
diseases.
liver.
Welcome back to the Healthy Habit Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Dayan of Healthy Habit Medical Center. Welcome, folks, to episode number 87 with Stacy Faulkner in our monthly check-in. And Stacy is she's worked in the natural health industry since 2000, 23 years now, so you better listen up, folks. She's the National Educator for Emerald Labs, and Stacy provides insight and understanding into those seeking information regarding better health through proper we got a tongue twister today. Better health through proper supplementation and self-care. It's my pleasure to welcome back Stacy Faulkner. Last time we talked to her was episode number 82 in our Movember episode, Movember 2023, where we covered men's health and detoxification. So today in episode number 87, we're going to dive deeper into products like quercetin, liposomal vitamin C, and NAC for cold and flu season. Stacy, welcome back.
Hi, Dehan. Thanks for having me again. Good to see you. Happy
I'm
holidays.
excited to talk to you. That's why I can't even speak here, Stacy. Oh my goodness. How are we doing since the last time we spoke?
We're great. Straight into the holiday season. I feel like it was just August. So just plugging along to 2024.
Have you been traveling, giving
No, I
lectures,
stopped in
trainings?
October. I stopped in October.
Okay.
Um, so I'm in Oceanside and enjoying the holiday season.
Still to this day, my favorite place to travel to, Oceanside, California. The most beautiful place I've been to so far in America. Love it there.
Most beautiful little town.
And you get to live there.
I get to live there.
Incredible. So, Stacy, let's dive into quercetin. This is an important nutrient, and it's in a lot of naturopathic doctors' cold and flu acute formula to go along with NAC and vitamin C. And a lot of people add black seed oil to that and ivermectin. We won't really go into those today, but
Right.
let's hear your thoughts on quercetin by Emerald Labs, the additive-free company.
So first of all, for the listeners, we're going to be approaching immune health today. So because of cold and flu season, so that's why we're going to be talking about quercetin, like Dehan's talked about the PureWay-C, liposomal C, and if we have time, some N-acetylcysteine. The quercetin overall is actually one of my favorite supplements. It's an easy supplement to take because it's pretty potent if you're using the right kind of ingredient. And with Emerald Labs, we're using a phytosome ingredient, and it's called Quercefit. So with Emerald Labs, a lot of times we are using the patented, registered, trademark ingredient because they've got clinical studies behind it. So Quercefit is one of those ingredients that we purchase to include in as one of our supplements to offer to the consumers. So first of all, quercetin overall is poorly absorbed by the human body, like turmeric, right?
Okay.
So what this company did that we purchased from, the company's called Invena. And so what this company's done is they've taken a really concentrated form of the quercetin, and quercetin is just basically a pigment. It's a flavonoid. So flavonoids, what consumers can realize, are from really richly pigmented fruits and vegetables. So like blueberries, mangoes, really bright colored fruits and vegetables. So these flavonoids, what they've determined, there's two, and there's several in the quercetin, but there's two really important ones. Main important one is rutin. So going back to poorly absorbed, by the human body, you have to take it in its right form, or you're going to have to take at least 1,000 milligrams to at least get 250 for it to be absorbable and get it into your system. Okay. So there it is, the Quercetin Phytosome. So clearly shows the consumer right there that it's in the phytosome technology. So phytosome technology, and then also on the front of the bottle, it's showing that it's the clinically proven Quercetin, the patented ingredient. So when we're using the patented ingredient, it's going to do what it says it's going to do because it has human clinical studies. So it's got studies behind it, and so highly, so yeah, right, what you're showing, the optimized bioabsorption and solubility. So what this company does, they take the super concentrated quercetin and they put it in a fat bubble, okay, and the fat bubble allows it to absorb, and in this case the Quercetin is 20 times more bioavailable than standard quercetin. So you can see here one capsule, and they're very, very tiny capsules, is 250 mgs here. So standard would be about 1,000 if you put quercetin like in an allergy formula.
Yeah.
Normally you're going to have to take probably 4 capsules.
Okay.
So using this patented ingredient, we're down to a tiny little capsule about the size of a little pinky fingernail, and you can take 1 to 2, and depending on what you're kind of trying to suppress, either try to suppress cold and flu symptoms or allergies, because basically a lot of people will remember, Dehan, right, during the end of pandemic, quercetin and N-acetylcysteine had a big kind of, what do you call it, big jump, because it was being studied for respiratory health. And so when I talked about rutin, Dehan, so the rutin, as you know, it's basically one of the flavonoids, okay, one of the compounds, and it is in charge of really, it's been known, it's for like capillary resistance and strength. So a lot of people would recognize rutin when it was sold as a standalone, like many years ago, just in the herb section. People were trying to, use it to combat hemorrhoids, right? So if you think about capillary strength and resistance, this is where it started getting studied in the lungs and the respiratory health. So
Right.
we're looking at keeping the capillaries strong and resistant without being, tugged and pulled on. So, oh, this is nice what you have pulled up here. So the quercetin, so that's a new one right there on the right. So it is in charge of so many things. Now I take it every day just as a preventative, but
Right.
also I travel with it because it's so good for my allergies. So if something's blooming in a different state that I don't live in, I'll take it right away, right when I wake up in the morning, and I take 2. So it's really, really helpful as I kind of like as a histamine suppressor and working with as an anti-allergy kind of thing. But here we're showing you for the consumers that are looking at this, anti-cancer, antioxidant. That's another thing. It's bright yellow.
Yeah.
The powder that we have in our little capsules, it's the Japana sulfurica. It's most potent of the quercetin. It's a tree, and so antioxidant, anti-allergy, and immune. So super. There it is. Sephora japonica. Thank you. And then that's showing the consumer too, sunflower. So this is a sunflower lecithin bubble that they put it in. So phytosome is basically a fat bubble. And so that allows that quercetin to shuttle into the cells at a much more bioavailable rate. So, and it's going to stay around in the system longer too. So anybody can benefit from quercetin. I mean, you should put it into your regimen. If you don't already have it in there, especially if December and January and February coming up, it's going to be the cold months, and it's really going to be very effective for somebody that wants to kind of suppress symptomology of cold and flus, kind of keep it at bay, as well as somebody that has, allergies and maybe wants to not take something over the counter. This would be a really easy, and this product here is in a 2-month supply, so 1 a day, and we actually have the capsule size on the side of the bottle to just show you how tiny they are, and on the front there on that banner showing the consumer again that it's 20 times more bioavailable. And when they're talking about 20 times more bioavailable,
Right.
what we're addressing is it's 20 times more bioavailable than a standard quercetin
Okay.
that other manufacturers may be using for their formulas.
Right.
And there's other ones that are patented out there as well. I believe Myocil is out there, and I think that's just 10 times more patented. So this is a really this is a strong little Superman. This
Right. And so
Quercetin.
yeah, and if I'm understanding correctly, we're using the Quercetin form of quercetin, which is the
Yeah.
registered trademark version that's
Mhm.
been clinically studied, and it helps absorb the quercetin better, because you mentioned turmeric, where you want to actually, you can take it all you want, but if you're not taking the right form, you won't get it absorbed. And you don't need to take as much of this form of quercetin because it's in that phytosome version, which will then help the bioavailability here, the 20x
Yeah,
more, helps it get absorbed into the system. And then I pulled this up here. You can see all the different benefits
all
of
those
quercetin.
things.
We can spend 3 hours just talking about quercetin alone, but
I
since
know.
it's cold and
Diabetes, cancer, blood
since
vessel,
it's
heart
right,
health has been talked about. So people just need, the takeaway would be that it's histamine suppressor. Okay, but
right. Probably these two down here, the anti-allergy activity for this season that we're in. We're trying to make it
asthmatic,
specific for
it's been
reducing
talked
cold and
about.
flu.
Yeah, it's been talked about as an anti-inflammatory and for bladder health as well. It's been talked about for diabetes. So it's a strong little guy to have in your arsenal, in your
Right.
medicine cabinet.
And
You
folks,
know,
come talk to Stan the Demo Man. He's in house here at Healthy Habit Tuesdays through Saturdays, demoing all the Emerald Labs products. And, you know, a lot of people have been coming in, Stacy, with that congestion, sore throat, runny nose, allergy season type symptoms.
Mhm.
So quercetin is, I think, a no-brainer, especially in this form where your dollar goes further because you don't need to take as much capsules
Oh, you
because
just
it's
cut
that
out there.
phytosome. I cut out? Yeah. How about now? Can you hear me?
You're frozen.
Let's give it a second. Okay. How about now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you're just frozen.
Okay, there we go. Am I back?
Nope. But that's okay. I can still hear you, so we can
Yeah.
still
It
talk.
might be on your end because I can still see me moving here, but we'll keep going. So,
You're moving
again,
now.
that's the Quercetin Phytosome through Emerald Labs, the additive-free company. Give our listeners a little reminder of why that's the slogan for the company. What is that referring to, the additive-free company?
So with Emerald Labs from the get-go, we're turning 21 years old this year. And so we are completely additive-free from the inception of the company, additive-free, gluten-free, common allergen-free. We're 100% non-GMO. We're using patented registered trademark ingredients with the formulas because it's a result-driven line. It's formulated by a naturopathic medical doctor, Dr. Mark Stangler,
Mm-hmm.
as some people may recognize or have his books. So very result driven. So additive free to us means absolutely no flow agents and no lubricants. So that is no magnesium stearate for your consumers that are list driven, no vegetable lubricant. And so what we do at Emerald Labs is we slow all those machines down during the encapsulating process, and we do really small production runs. So we don't need to add any kind of flow agents or lubricants to keep those ingredients flowing through the encapsulating machine. And that simply all is what magnesium stearate is. It's a flow agent for people that are not in the know of that.
Amazing. Thanks for clarifying that. That's important. You don't want to get a bunch of fillers with the nutrient that you're trying to take. In fact, you might be taking quercetin, but you're actually getting more of the other fillers and flow agents in other companies. So we won't mention any names, but
No,
that's specifically Emerald Labs, the additive-free company.
right.
And then what's a good pair with quercetin? I think vitamin C might be a good one here, like PureWay.
Vitamin C is a good pair. Zinc is a good pair. So we have a product is the quercetin. We've added 10 milligrams of the zinc to it. So what they found in the studies is that quercetin and zinc potentiate each other. And so basically the quercetin opens up a little channel, as you can say, like a little opening into the cell, and it's called an ionophore. But just think about a little channel allows the zinc to travel into that cell membrane and then stop viral replication. So if you are in there talking to Stan, the demo man at Healthy Habits, and you're starting to have some kind of cold flu symptomology, you might kind of want to look at the one with the 10 milligrams of zinc, because zinc is amazing, as we know, for the immune system as well. And so that could just really be a little bit more of a stronger base to start to stave off the cold and flu.
Yeah, I just finished a bottle of PureWay-C by Emerald
Ah,
Labs. Let's put this on the radar for our listeners. What is that? How's that different from just ascorbic acid, typical that people have been
right.
using for
So
decades?
up PureWay-C, that's a good transition because we're just talking about phytosome technology. So the PureWay-C is another patented trademark registered ingredient that we purchase as a standalone. And so it's again, it's a liposomal. So it's water and fat soluble. Okay. And it clearly says for the consumers that are a little bit sketchy about ascorbic acid, or Leary, I should say, Leary, is that the PureWay-C, it says on the supplement facts box that it is vitamin C as PureWay-C. It is project verified, non-GMO ascorbic acid. So it's clean corn, but then it's also bound to citrus bioflavonoids. So it's water soluble, and then vegetable fatty acids. So it's fat soluble. The benefit of this product, again, super, super tiny little capsules. And I believe 2 capsules is 500 milligrams. And so with that, water and fat soluble, you have a 12-hour retention versus a normal 4-hour retention of vitamin C. So that's a benefit. And with our PureWay-C, we package it in a 45-day supply. So it's a 90 count. But like for me, I take 3 to 4 a day. So you can combine that.
Sure.
You can combine it with your copper. You can combine it with the quercetin. You can't go wrong with too many antioxidants. So antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, PureWay-C is a perfect little, another thing to have in your arsenal. Perfect thing to start to take if you're not already taking vitamin C is to start to take it now, especially for the next 3 months, I'd say. Right? Wouldn't you say that?
100%. Oh, yeah. And some people say take it to bowel tolerance, where you start getting the loose stool. That's when you know you hit the dose, back off just a little bit from that point. But it's harder to get the bowel issues if you're taking the liposomal version of the PureWay-C. So that's what the PureWay-C allows. Why is the alpha lipoic acid added in there, Stacy? R-Alpha
So
Lipoic
that
Acid.
alpha lipoic, I'm glad you asked that, is alpha lipoic acid is another antioxidant that I love, glutathione alpha lipoic acid. So alpha lipoic acid, the way I like to explain it is it tends to help regenerate or upcycle, extinguishing antioxidants, and in this case, vitamin C. So when the little vitamin C, the antioxidant is free radically scavenging through the body all day long, it starts to die off. And so alpha lipoic acid tends to act like a little paramedic and pumps a little bit more life into that extinguishing antioxidant, and in this case, the vitamin C. So we've added that alpha lipoic acid in the reduced form to the PureWay-C because, like I said, we purchased the PureWay-C as a standalone. So it kind of makes it more of an Emerald Labs product, make it more of our own, a uniqueness versus the PureWay-C that could be sold right next to it.
Okay.
Another selling point again is the capsules are super, super tiny.
So you're saying it just combines really well with our alpha lipoic acid, additional support.
Additional support, and it pumps a little bit more life, a little bit more longevity into that
Okay.
PureWay-C. I call it
Amazing.
a little paramedic.
I see. Got it. So yeah, because you need alpha lipoic acid to fuel cellular energy production. It's good for diabetes support, even in neuropathy. That's a lot of
Neuropathy,
people use it for that too, and the brain
liver.
benefits.
How about for the
So,
liver too? So I mean,
right.
over I think Germany, anyway, in Europe, it's actually a pharma. It's a Europharma. It's not recognized here, but it has been proven for neuropathy that you just talked about. It's been proven for liver regeneration.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's one of my favorite, and I think people should take. It's normally a dose would be 300, right?
Yeah.
I like to recommend 600 a day. And another thing that I like to encourage people to do is take a 1-300 with your vitamin B complex, because it helps those B vitamins stay in the system longer. And we know that vitamin B, the Bs are water soluble, so they're easily depleted, especially in the cold and flu season, stress, poor diet, alcohol, uh, competition
Right.
really depletes the Bs. So sorry, we got a crow above here.
Right. And don't you have a standalone as well? This is just the pure way. There's only a little pinch in there, about 25 milligrams of alpha
Yeah,
lipoic. But don't you have a standalone by itself? Plus, it's in the blood sugar formula.
we have it. We used to have a standalone. We no longer
Oh, got
manufacture
it.
it. I'm actually I have 2 bottles left, but we used to have a 3-month supply. But alpha lipoic acid is pretty common out there. I would just recommend the smaller the capsule, the better. I would recommend getting a product with a company that is additive-free or not too many additives. I would recommend a capsule. Um, uh, and maybe a 2-month supply, especially if you're going to be taking it at 600 a day.
Got it. Perfect. And so far, we've covered here with Stacy Faulkner, And Emerald Labs here, the Additive-Free company, the Quercetin Phytosome capsules from the Japanese saponica flower, which is fascinating. That's really cool. And that's in the phytosome. So it
Mhm.
increases the bioavailability of the quercetin. Similar to turmeric, people know you should combine it with black pepper to increase its absorption. And actually, other herbs in general, they work better when you put them together. It helps them get
Yeah.
absorbed. And then
And
the,
Dehan, that's
yeah,
another thing, since we were just talking about the Quercefit, that company Indina also makes a phytosome turmeric. So a lot of people think you could just take spoonfuls of turmeric, and you can't. You need to have some kind of fat with it for the absorption. This is why you see it like in
right,
Ayurvedic cooking, Indian cooking, a lot of coconut milk or coconut cream, ghee is usually, and turmeric's added. So they're using
right.
that as an anti-inflammatory. It doesn't really have a whole lot of flavor. But that Indina also makes a Mariva phytosome, which is standardized curcumin, 22%, so super potent antioxidant, anti-inflammatory as well. In the phytosome technology as well.
Amazing. And then we'll finish off here last couple minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes or so here on the NAC doctor formulated NAC N-acetylcysteine. We do a lot of this in IV injectable version as well for our patients in our Ultimate Immune IV.
Whoa,
And this
wow.
helps with glutathione production and all kinds of stuff. But 600 milligrams per two capsules. No, one capsule gives you 0.6 grams. Let's hear your thoughts on this formula. Is this a good combo with everything we've been discussing?
Absolutely. Again, we're talking about another potent antioxidant, and this is in a 2 month supply. So it does say 1 to 2 capsules. So the standard would be 1 capsule, just like you said, to help with, glutathione production. Um, it's a non-essential amino acid, but it crosses the blood-brain barrier. And so it is, this guy is having so many new studies come out.
Right.
So 600 would be standard. Two, what just came out too is the studies, and Dr. Amen has been talking about it. So 2 capsules, so that would be 1200. And Dr. Stangler's been talking about this too. And this is why
Right.
this product even came out end of pandemic, is because we're seeing, oh, I like that, therapeutic
We'll
uses
get
of.
there. Yeah.
So Dr. Stangler is finding still a lot of anxiety and depression and substance abuse going on. And so he really wanted a 2 month supply of the N-acetylcysteine, because some studies have come out. One study in particular was at 1200. 1200 would be 2 capsules. Take them right when you wake up. Okay, empty tummy is just fine. It's just an amino acid, the N-acetylcysteine. And the study that came out, it was that it could potentially, it actually did, but for people that are listening, it has the potential to lower symptoms of depression. Okay, and so
Wow.
that has come out at 1200, and then at 4 a day, at 2400, we're looking at alleviating the symptoms of I came up with another word the other day, addictive behaviors. Okay, so it's not just, because I've been listening to Dr. Amin as well and reading the studies,
Yeah.
it's not just like alcohol or drug abuse. So 1200 when you wake up, 1200 in the afternoon or before you go to bed. So that would be 4 a day. This is why it's in a
Okay.
2 month supply. Is that the addictive behaviors that seem to emanate and kind of rule the brain, as far as like, it could be sugar, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be overdosing on pharmaceuticals, it could be fast driving, it could be gambling, things like that. And so if you look up the studies on N-acetylcysteine and addictive behaviors, they're finding that at a 2400 milligram dose has been really effective to help curb
Wow.
overall, things
That's
that ruminate
interesting.
in the brain, really.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll highlight that in the show notes below, and I'll put that as a little sneak peek into the intro to today's episode, because a lot of people don't have that on the radar, Stacy, for NAC and the mental health benefits. They just think
or
kind of liver support, glutathione, immune system. So that's going to help a lot of people as another option. So, and then I pulled up here, look at all the different therapeutic uses for NAC, similar to quercetin, from
it's
infertility
huge.
to substance abuse disorders.
There
That's
it
what you
is
were
right
talking
there.
about with the
Mm-hmm.
addictions and much more liver
The
diseases.
river.
Yeah.
And I have something here too that I came up with, and I won't go over it, but all of it, but the N-acetylcysteine, and this is just should be, again, in your arsenal, people.
Yeah.
And again, we're trying to make, we're very fair-minded price and we're labs, but we're also trying to make, value-added sizes. So again, this is a 2-month supply. The PureWay-C was a 45-day supply. The quercetin is a 2-month supply, just depending if you're taking one or if you're going to take more for, specific uses. But for here on the N-acetylcysteine, like I said, crosses the blood-brain barrier. But for neurodegenerative disorders, we're looking at studies going on with Parkinson's, dementia, stroke, MS, and neuropathic, diabetic neuropathy.
Uh-huh.
Seems like a Monday. Psychiatric disorders. So this is where we're talking about what you saw on your chart: schizophrenia, OCD, bipolar, ADD, addictive behavior, and that backs it up right there. Lung disorders, COPD, bronchitis, and cystic fibrosis. Gastrointestinal disorders, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, H. pylori infections. Your chart also showed a male and female infertility.
Right.
We're talking about PCOS, polycystic, miscarriages, improved semen quality, so for male infertility, and for eye disorders, age-related macular degeneration. So I have 2 of those genetic variants. Now I'm talking like you are, just
I know, right?
glaucoma. So airway diseases, liver diseases, metabolic syndromes, infectious diseases, and miscellaneous disorders and conditions like lupus, cancers, toxic mineral chelation, lead, cadmium, and arsenic chelation. So this is a really, really neat, very affordable, non-essential amino acid. So you could probably even post that little chart on your notes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, so a lot of people are looking for heavy metal detoxing benefits like lead, like you just mentioned, and
Yeah,
helping increase the liver activity especially towards the end of the year here. We have a lot of people calling
sure.
us and saying, hey, I want to start cleaning house to finish off 2023 strong. And so that's something that you guys might want to think about. This episode will be airing on Tuesday, December the 19th, it should be. So perfect in time to finish off the year. You'll be getting this
Oh,
information, folks. So we're pretty much, and just like that, 25, 26 minutes went by. Stacy, what do you want to leave our listeners with? Kind of motivation, cold flu season here in
I
30
think,
seconds.
okay,
Keep them healthy.
I'm not ever going to tell somebody not to get a vaccine, but
Okay.
I think if you're not wanting to get a flu vaccine, like myself, I would say everything we talked about today should be in your medicine cabinet or something that you take on a
Right.
regimen on a daily basis. And all 3 of those products that we just discussed today, you can take them all on an empty tummy. There's nothing in there that's really going to irritate your tummy. You can take them right before you go to bed as well, depending on what you're used to or what you can tolerate. But they're super easy to take, very, very small capsules. The N-acetylcysteine is a little bit bigger, but they come in value-added sizes, and you can really prevent yourself from, getting a cold or flu, or you can maybe reduce the severity. And as always, Emerald Labs, we're very affordable. We're additive-free, gluten-free, common allergen-free, doctor formulated. The
Right.
products are meant to do what they say that they're going to do, and we always love testimonials. So you can always, you know, talk about it and give healthy habits feedback if you find that you had really great results from an Emerald Lab product. That's always something that we love to hear.
I'm glad you mentioned the affordability. I haven't heard anybody in 5+ years now complain about Emerald Lab prices for the quality that they get. So thank you, Stacy Faulkner, for coming on today. Our listeners are going to appreciate this one.
Thank you, Dehan. Happy holidays. Say hi to Aaron.
I will. Happy holidays. Thank you,
All right.
Stacy.
Bye now.
Bye bye.